Trainer Leroy Jolley is one of those fortunate few, the successful sons of successful men. Moody Jolley's boy did not arrive at eminence with his present charge, Foolish Pleasure. Horses under his care have won over $3 million in purses. And as he basks in his success, he watches his son.
Very quiet, calm horse, and that's been a big plus in his favor. He doesn't give it away, and he doesn't wear himself out.
Well, good luck to you, Leroy. He certainly does look the calm warrior, does he not?
On the inside, Avatar. Got the wire. Good style. Now Foolish Pleasure. Foolish Pleasure to the lead. Avatar. Then it's Diablo. Is the trainer for Foolish Pleasure, Mr. Jolley. Congratulations. We appreciate you training this horse so well. And Mr. Greer particularly appreciates it, and we're so glad that you joined us today, and congratulations as the trainer of Foolish Pleasure.
21 years, and only the second filly in history to win this mile-and-a-quarter classic. Regret won it in 1915, and Genuine Risk, trained by the outstanding conditioner Leroy Jolley, and ridden by Jacinto Vasquez, who took Foolish Pleasure to the winner's circle after.
Well, they're wonderful athletes. They can be very difficult. They're very strong, and obviously they're all different. But as an athlete, they're absolutely pure athletes. They can't run out and get a hamburger or a milkshake, and everything about them is to enhance their ability to run and to get them ready to perform. So they're very pure athletes.
And to cross over after the track into another career?
Well, they certainly can be difficult, and I think with a certain amount of time, and obviously the change in diet, taking the grain away where they're not quite so full of energy, and with time and getting out of the atmosphere of the racetrack, I think that you can probably have pretty good luck making them into riding horses or whatever, but I do believe that you need to be very careful in who you put on them, because they are very, very strong. And an inexperienced rider might have a very difficult time. Well, it was at an unusual time in the history of the country, in that that winter, the previous winter, we had the tennis match between Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs, and there was a whole women's movement that was going on. So actually, when you hooked up two world-class athletes, one male, one female, it became a major media event. So it was a big deal. It was the largest purse run in America that year, and with the women's movement, it really became more than just a horse race.
It was a battle of the sexes.
A battle of the sexes.
So if Ruffian could have burned her bra, would she have?
Ruffian was big and tough. I doubt she would have owned a bra.
No, you don't see any match races anymore.
Well, that was such a disappointing situation, and caused such a stir that I don't think we've had any match races since then. We had match races prior to that, but it was usually colt against colt or filly against filly, and this was the first one that I knew of that was male against female. Well, it's very hard. I've been lucky enough to have some very good horses, and to say which one is best or which one is not best is very tough. But growing up in the horse business, my father and uncles were both trainers, and growing up in the business, you always have races that you would love to win as a kid growing up, and you think, gee, I'll never have a horse good enough to do this. Well, Foolish Pleasure was a horse that I had that he pretty much won all of those races, so I would have to say that he was my favorite.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a man who's known for his pleasures. These two I train, and this one I drink. Light beer from Miller. It's got a third less calories than their regular beer, and it's less filling. But what I love best is the way it tastes. What a pleasure. Right, guys? Am I a trainer, or am I a trainer?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Well, the race that I feel as though was the most difficult race with the greatest bunch of horses was the 1986 Breeders' Cup Turf, which we were lucky enough to win with a horse named Manila, who was an extremely good horse. And it was a wonderful field of horses. There were 4 or 5 champions from around the world in the race, and at the time they were all very good, and it was a very difficult race, but it was probably the most memorable race that I've ever run in, and certainly was lucky enough to win.
Yeah. For any of your retired horses?
Actually, I was in Kentucky last September, and I went out to old friends, and I saw Gulch, who is now 29. He was 28 then. And they do a wonderful job there. He looked absolutely perfect. He looked like you could run him.
Yeah.
He was 28 years old. He had great muscle tone, and they take great care of him. And I was very happy to see that at that advanced age that he was in such great shape.
Did he recognize you?
I doubt that, but he recognized the carrot I had in my hand.
I'm sure he did. Awesome.
Sixth, and we had quite a turn over there. On the turn, the horses were very badly bunched, and getting through was Foolish Pleasure on the inside, and he won. We'll have the official for you. That's the way it looked here.